burned and you're going to get fairy fired. If he's creeping, you can kill, I guess you can steal the creeps. I mean, you could try to still steal a creep, but then you don't have mana to get away, so you could get surrounded and killed, or cyclone and killed, or whatever. You don't have an open inventory slot, so you can't even get the item. Okay, there, you finally got enough mana, so you killed an archer, and now he has dust on you, and you don't run away far enough, or do you? Okay, for some reason he's went to dot for him, anyway. So that's fine, but like, you didn't really accomplish anything there. You killed an archer, and now your harass is just kind of futile, because once again you don't have mana. And you're still creeping pretty slowly on your TC, the fact that he doesn't still have level 3. Like, not good. And then another thing is, because you have this faster tier 2 than you normally would have, and because you got his Demon Hunter kill, the creeps you creep should be on his side of the map, so that anytime he brings his army out like this right now with Adept Talons, you have your Spirit Link Raiders near him, stealing his creep camps, forcing courts, and snaring and killing Talons. There's a very small window between when he gets his tier 2 and when he gets his tier 3 in Cyclone, and in that window, you know, your Link and Raiders and Snare hold up very, very well. Very, very well. And you need to be taking advantage of that as much as possible. And creeping out your side of the map really doesn't accomplish that, because he still has tons of creeps left on his side of the map, so in any kind of lull in fighting, or if you both port or whatever, he can creep on his side of the map. Now let's pause the game at 10:15. It's 10, 13, 14, 10:15, pause. Okay. Food-wise, it's 49 versus 48, so this is a 50-50 food fight. You have 3-3 versus 3-1-1, and on paper that looks like it's your advantage, like 2 level 1 spells versus 1 level 2 spell, especially when it's Shockwave. Like, that should be good for you, but the fact is he has a level 3 Demon Hunter, which you have not ensnared, so he's going to get a free mana burn off right now, and that's going to be 100 mana, so from 255 mana you're going to go right to 155 mana. So I'm going to tell you, like, before this fight even begins, by never watching it, I know you're going to get at most 1 Shockwave off, at most. So all of a sudden, once that Shockwave goes off, now it's really, you know, what is your TC now? Like, he's basically a grunt. You know, he deals about as much damage as a grunt, you know, with his attack speed. Like, it's a little bit better, but it's really not. He's useless. And your Blade has no invuln, and no mana, and he has Fairy Fire on him. And, you know, like, whatever damage he does, he's only going to do between cyclones. He's going to be cyclone frequently. You're also fighting in what is basically a choke point. Your units are linked, at least, I see, which is good. But because of your position, you're going to have a very hard time attacking Talons, which is what you need to be attacking in these fights. And then the other thing, before you even get in this fight, this is just not an ideal fight for you to get into. He has 66 gold in the bank, you have 500, and you have burrow building. So basically, by the time that burrow is done, you'd have 600 gold, which is, you know, instant 60 food right there. You've crept out this shop, so you know, like, if this fight had been slightly delayed, or had been fought in your base, which is where the elf is heading, and you'd have the advantage of your shop, it's a different fight. And that 500 gold is, it may not seem like much, but in like 10 seconds, that represents, no, it's more like, you know, 30 seconds. Your burrow should have been a little bit faster. But this should have been a 60 versus 50 food fight. And then all of a sudden, Spirit Link and that heal scroll you have is much more effective. Because looking at his stuff, he doesn't have a heal scroll, and he doesn't even have an invuln pot. You don't have well, you do have an invuln pot, but you put it on your TC, which I don't agree with. But anyway, I would flip the heal scroll and the invuln pot. So the timing of this fight is not in your favor either, because your army will be a lot better 1 minute from now, whereas his army is about it's at its peak right now. I mean, granted, his will get better as his heroes get better, as will yours, but you know, there's nothing more he could do to like get his army better other than have a heal scroll, which is not even really going to need, because you're only going to get 1 shockwave off. So we're at 10:15. Let's unpause in 3, 2, 1. Unpause. So the first thing you do is get burned, and then you get a shockwave off. You hit 2 talons and a quill beast. The shock goes up. You promptly take that down, which is good. The blade, as I predicted, is flying. Your raiders are attacking the level 3. You're right-clicking his demon hunter in a corner, so you can't even. All your units aren't even attacking it. Like, I don't know if you're watching these peons, but they're not even getting hits on it. I mean, like, I can't even tell you the full amount of damage that those raiders are doing. Like, of course you're going to end up speed scrolling away from this fight. He lost no food right there. Nothing. He didn't. I don't think he lost a talon. He didn't drop before 49 food anyway. And like, you're still right-clicking his demon hunter, which has evasion, which means it has close to 1,000 HP, maybe 900. and a town portal, and you don't have hex. So like, yes, he ports. You're not going to get that kill. He gets another raider kill. His stuff levels. Now he has 300 gold in the bank and 49 food. You have 170 gold in the bank and 39 food. So at this point, you know, and you have to dispel, you have to dispel fairy fire. You have to heal. You have to get more mana. Like all of these things are going to cost you money, whereas he's just going to hit his wells, especially since now it's nighttime. So he's fully healed, basically. He's rebought his town portal. He's still at 49 food. The game's in his control now, instantly, because you fought one bad fight in terrible position. One thing you should do, by the way, at this point is supplement your army with mercs. The Troll Berserker is actually pretty useful versus Talons. You go to his shop, which is a good thing. I would buy the Invuln, but he bought it first, so you got a heal scroll, but I think he's still going to get one. Oh, no. But anyways, Scroll Denial at this point, not as useful. Like it's great to have the healing scrolls, but like I said, they help supplement Spirit Link, and Spirit Link, like the healing scrolls, will get better the more units that it's affecting. So the first thing that happens in this fight is you get burned. Now you don't even have Shockwave, so your level 3 TC is basically a grunt again. So you're fighting with just a Blade Master, and that Blade Master can't attack, which is going to be Cyclone, but you're not going to choose to fight, you're going to choose to run, but you don't have a speed scroll, so like there's just like no damage input there, and your Blade, which has no mana, he hasn't involved, but you just give up and die. And don't feel bad, because this is like, you know, profile any Orc player on East. I'm sure their record versus Elf is probably their worst record. It's a difficult matchup. Obviously, Talons are so effective because their 3 level 1 heroes all have an impact on the game. Like Pocket Factory, you have to focus that down, or that's going to end up screwing you over big time. Quillbeasts do a lot of damage. The Beastmaster is a pretty decent tank, especially as he levels up. And Mana Burn effectively neutralizes the 100 mana per Shockwave TC, as does, you know, like he'll like in worst case scenarios, you get Mana Burned and then instantly Cyclone, and then you fall again and Mana Burned again, and you don't even get a Shockwave off. Like that can happen, and it really it makes it like you don't have heroes. And Warcraft is all about heroes. And this, like, your Blade Master is great, but he spends half of every battle flying. So it's a very, very difficult matchup. And like, I wish I could give you better. Like, it starts with little things that build up over the course of the game. Not allowing him to get a really early level 3 Demon Hunter, because the second he does that, he's going to be very good at neutralizing your Tauren Chieftain, killing archers early on. Fighting on his side of the map when you have that at tier 2 advantage, like that's I think that's something that'll improve your game a lot, is choosing to create your TC on his side of the map, because every time he goes out to create, you know, you ensnare a Demon Hunter or an Archer or whatever is worth ensnaring for support, or kill a few dots or whatever, that'll really improve your game, especially on a map like Melting Valley, because then all of the creeps that you've crept on his side of the map, and now every time you guys, you know, stop fighting, there's still creeps on your side to keep boosting up your Tauren Chieftain, and that's obviously to your advantage. Also, fighting position-wise, you know, I'm sure if you watch that replay, you'd probably say that's not the best place to fight against dots. So that's it. That's part 1. I will do more in the future. There's quite a few games versus human which I need to get to, so this was probably the last audio of this user audio segment that'll be dealing with Elf. The next one will be human, I think. I might even include a few of my games.